Hello friends, welcome to Ruhani-Tech Solutions. So we at Ruhani-Tech Solutions provide various services like real-time project-based training in technologies like Java, .NET C, C++, and Python, and also provide solution to technical queries and real-time project ideas to students. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the Python application using Django framework. Django is one of the most famous web framework in Python. So we will be seeing how we have implemented the Django framework in our application, that is student management system. Okay, so coming over to the agenda, we have the project overview, functional overview, technical overview, and the Django architecture. So coming to the functional part, let's see we have hosted our application on the server at localhost. So, so see, like when we click on localhost 8081, we have hosted our application on port 8081, right? So we these are the different URLs you are able to see, right? When the login, the welcome page is login. When we click on that, our landing page is their welcome page, right? So we are using MySql database in this application. Let me enter the credentials and click on go. So we'll be able to see there are mainly two tables we are using in this application, that is roles. As this is a role based application, that is we have two roles, admin and student, right? So we can see these two roles, admin and student, and we have two entries like Jitendra is an admin and Rohani is a student, right, with their passwords. And we have the student, that is Rohani, with all the details here, right? So basically we have two tables, right? So we have seen that we have in the roles table we have the entry Jitendra as an admin. So we will be logging into the system using Jitendra credentials and password, and as it is an admin we are writing admin and clicking on submit. So the admin homepage will come. So there are different tabs you can see: home, about us, sign up, list of students, list of admins, contact us, and logout button. So when we click on students, we can see only one student is there, that is Rohani. When we click on Rohani, it will show the details of Rohani, right? Whatever the entries we just seen in our database. That is when we click on the tables student. So Rohani is the username and all the details which are there in the database. The admin can see will see all the details of the students on this page, details page, right? And also admin can delete a particular student as well. Like say if some students will be leaving the college or school after completing their graduation, right? So after that there is no need, so the admin can delete their records, right? Same, there is a list of admins, like as of now there is only one admin, so admin can create multiple admins and register multiple students from here. Sign up tab, sign up, and like say we admin will be registering one student whose name is Ruchit, okay, and providing the password to Ruchit and role as say student. Okay, and click on submit button. So you can see student created, and let me show you in the database also. Like when we click on the roles button now, Ruchit entry is inserted into the database as role ID as student and password. And when we click on the student table, so one entry is inserted here as well, but only with the username as Ruchit. Other fields are empty as of now. Okay, so let's go to home. Admin goes to home and list and see the list of students. When you see, you can see here Ruchit is there. When admin clicks on Ruchit, so there only first name is displaying as only one entry is there, right? So so who will fill these entries? Ruchit will log into the system with his credentials and insert or update records, right? So let's log out from the system. Jitendra is who is an admin is logging out from the system. Now Ruchit will be logging into the system with his credentials. Okay, now he will insert or update the records of, you can see here on the right hand side, welcome Ruchit, welcome student Ruchit. So he will update his records by update details of Ruchit. Ruchit department, say he's in the CSC department, last name, first year percentage, say third year percentage, final year percentage, say gender, male, roll numbers, say 64, date of birth, okay, say whatever. So and click on insert update. So see details updated successfully messages there. So let me show you in the database as well. So when we refresh the student table now, so see all these details will be there as Ruchit has updated his credentials from the front end. So it is also reflected here in the backend as well, right? So he has updated his credentials, Ruchit student, so he can log out from the system, and admin who Jitendra, who is the admin, can again logging into the system by using his credentials, and he can see the details of Ruchit who has updated his records, right? Now click on Ruchit. So see, now admin can able to see his details. That's good. If you can see a list of students, so he can delete, uh, like say he wants to delete one record, say Rohani is say leaving the, she has completed her graduation and now leaving the college, so he can delete her record, right? He can click on delete. So see, student deleted successfully, right? So let me show you in the database as well. So when, let me refresh this student table. So see, only one entry is there now. Rojit is there, Rohan is deleted. And in the same in the roles table, there is Ruchit and Jitendra. Is the admin Ruchit? No entry of Rohani because we have deleted, because the admin has deleted her data, right? Okay. So now log out from the system. So that's it from the functional perspective. So now we will move over to the technical part. Okay, so coming to the technical overview. So we are using Python to build up this application, and we are using the web framework of Python, that is the Django framework, for front end and back end coding, and we are using MySQL database for storing the data. And for deploying our web application, we are using Wamp Server, and IDE we are using for Python development is PyCharm. Okay, so moving to the Django framework, which we are using for web development in this application. So here we are using the MTV instead of MVC, right? If you see, where we previously we used model view controller, so now we are using model template view, right, framework. If you see this diagram, in this we are having the view, and the templates is providing, which is the presentation layer, is providing the input to the view, and also the model, which is a logical data structure, is providing its the data to the view, and view is processing the whole data. Let's see this in detail by going. So this is the PyCharm ID we are using for writing of a Python code and Django in Django framework. Okay, so in this diagram you are seeing the view, template and model, right? So view, we have created our Python file like views.py, and here this is, let's say we are just take a small method, login method. In this we are returning this index.html file, which is a template. You can see at the left hand side in the project explorer we have the templates, which is nothing but all the HTML files, right? So template is nothing but the HTML file. So login method, which is in the views.py, is returning what? Index.html, or we can say returning a template. And in this method we have the roles form as well. Roles form is nothing but a model which is defined here. That is, we have defined the student and roles. Role, in the roles we have different fields, username, password, role ID, which is mapped to the database table roles, right? So let's go back to the diagram. In the view we have the input as template and model. So in the view you can see we have the template, that is index.html, and roles form, which is nothing but a model which is defined here, all the fields, username, password and role ID, right? Hmm. Okay, so now we will discuss from the technical perspective that how the login module is implemented in this application, right? So let's see, when we click on this URL, it is localhost 8081 slash login, and click on enter. So this is the landing page, right? So the flow, when we click on the login, then the landing page is displayed. So let's go into the ID. So see, in when you see this file urls.py Python file, this one, so all the URL patterns are defined in this file, right? So you can see here login is redirected to views.login. That is, when this URL pattern, that is login, is entered, the flow first, control first goes here, that is login, and it will call the corresponding views.login. Views, we have this file views. In this we are having this login method, so it will call this method and it will render this index.html file. Index.html, this one is the, this page you are seeing is nothing but the index.html file, right? If we go to index.html file, you can see there are entries like username, password and this role ID and the submit button, which is nothing but this page index.html, right? Okay, so what happens next? So when we enter the say admin credentials, right? Just look at the URL when I click on submit button. See the URL and the admin is able to successfully log in into the system, and the URL is changed to login underscore logic, right? So let's see the code. Uh, So login underscore logic, and this views is mapped at is views dot login underscore logic. In the views, when we see, we have the login underscore logic method is there, in which we are comparing the entries which is entered by the user from the front end to the credentials which are already saved into the database. We compare these values. If these values are matched, the user will be able to log into the system, else it will log out. So you can see here, like username, password and role ID, which is coming from the request we are storing it in these variables username, password and role ID, right? And we are comparing if role ID is equal to admin and roles dot objects dot filter, we are using the filter method, and we are comparing this username which is entered by the user from front end with the username which is already there in the backend. We are comparing these values. If it is comparing and password is also matching, so it will show the admin underscore home dot html page, which is nothing but this page, this admin page, right? This is admin underscore home dot html. If role id is equal to student, then it will, and the username is matching and password is matching, then it will redirect to student underscore home page. Else it will, if the credentials are not correct, it will redirect to the index.html page, right? And here we are defining in the models file, we are defining the, as we have two tables, so we have two schemas, that is student and roles. So student we have defined as a model in which all the fields are there, and we have defined the maximum length of each field here, and we are mapping these fields to the table in the database, that is student table we are mapping. Okay, so as of now we have seen how the login modules is implemented in this application, right? So now we will see how this application is being deployed on the Wamp server. We have the Wamp server here, you're seeing running. This is the Wamp server is running, so we will see, okay, how it is, our application is deployed on the Wamp server. So we have Python installed on our system. Let me show you the version. Okay, Python 3.7.3 we are using, right? And pip list, this command shows all the packages which are installed. Pip list. So see, you are seeing the Django version as 3.0.4 is already, this package is installed. As we are using the MySql database, so MySql client package is also installed. So all these packages are installed, right? And for deploying our application to the Wamp server, we need to enter this command here. Okay, and click on enter. So this, you can see these entries: load file, load module, and Python home. These entries it is showing, right? So we need to copy these entries and copy into this Wamp server file. It is here, you can see Apache, this configuration file of Wamp server at the below. Okay, so see, all these values we are copying over here in this file, that is configuration file of Wamp server. Okay, so this is how we have deployed our application on the Wamp server. So when we click on this local host, and as you are seeing this login, we are clicking on this login, so it was showing the landing page, and 8081 port we have defined in the same file, configuration file, that is Apache. When we let control F80, right, so you can see it, the port is 8081 we have defined in this file, that's server name localhost 8081. So our application is deployed on the 8081 port, as you are seeing in the URL, right? Okay, so that's it from the technical perspective. Okay, so thank you guys. So for any technical queries and project ideas, you can contact me on the below email ID, or WhatsApp me, or call me on the mobile number given over here. So guys, stay tuned for more videos, and don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.